Most people feel that being stylish is either a yes or a no, right? You've either got it or you don't. And there's this even worse assumption that style has everything to do with money, those who can afford it and those who can't. But the truth is that actually style has nothing to do with money, and it's really not even that much to do with the clothes that we're actually wearing. Style is an inside job. 99% of people will never learn this lesson. It's so simple, but it's not the easy path. So let's break this down a little bit in today's video. The thing about humans is that we are so good at getting in our own way, and we will believe every single excuse that we give ourselves. I genuinely believe that most of us are comfortable with being good enough, and so we don't push ourselves to try to be something else, to be something more. You can be very comfortable here, and you can even be well dressed. And there is a difference between being well dressed and being stylish, which we'll get into in a little bit as well. I wanted to start off with a Dr. Seuss quote. In Dr. Seuss's words, "You are you, that is truer than true. There's no one alive who is youer than you." Ultimately, I could just leave it there. And if you look far enough into this quote, you will honestly see the nugget and the essence of what I'm trying to get at here as far as personal style. There's something unique that you have that nobody else on this planet has. The real work is in trying to get to that core of you and find some way to bring it out and express it in your style. It's really more about getting under the skin a little bit. If you've seen my video about the fantasy self, you'll know I'm all about bringing her with you throughout the day. So I encourage you to watch that video as well if you haven't done so already. And that just will shed a little bit more light on how we can use elements from our fantasy self to dressing and projecting ourselves how we want to be perceived. What most people don't understand is that style is a part of your identity. So really, style isn't something that you wear, it's something that you embody, it's something that you are. And while it might not really be as simple as just saying to yourself, "I am stylish," and then suddenly you snap your fingers and you're there, it genuinely can be that easy. So what does it truly mean to embody style? What it really means is that you are in touch with yourself. It means that you are devoted to getting to know yourself and representing her with some level of authenticity. It means that you're fiercely loyal to yourself. Personal style is genuinely quite a vulnerable and fearless way of showing who you are to the world, because you have fully accepted you as you are, who you are on so many different levels, and chosen to let that actually be seen. It doesn't mean that you have to show off every single little quirk and, facet of your personality to the world in every single outfit, because I feel that might be a little bit hectic. But it's more about knowing that you are a diamond and you get to choose which facet of the diamond you want to shine some light on today. Let's just pause here and play a little game, okay? Imagine one of your style muses. For a moment, close your eyes and imagine that you are her. Take a deep breath. And now get in front of your wardrobe, look at it with her eyes, and think about the pieces that she would choose out. Think about the textures she would be drawn to. Think about the ways that she would pair together items that are already hanging in your wardrobe. I'll wait. Did you find this an easier way of picking out your clothes than you do for yourself every morning? I feel like as soon as we have this style compass or this really clear style identity in our mind, it can be really, really easy and straightforward to pull pieces out, put them together, and to know what that person would put together. And again, clothes are just one aspect of our style. So thinking about this game again, the most confident version of you, the most fearless version of you, what would she wear today? The versions of you are genuinely endless, and they will fluctuate throughout the day, throughout the month, and from year to year. It's not about trying to nail your style to the wall. It's also not about compromising yourself, watering yourself down by using either trends or timeless fashion. I feel that these are both ways that people use to really just conceal and hide themselves. Even disregarding style altogether is another path to just hide behind, because in that way they don't have to try, they don't have to represent themselves, and they can just kind of cut this whole path out and focus on other things. And there's really nothing wrong with not being interested in your style, and there's nothing wrong with following a timeless classic wardrobe or choosing to incorporate trends. What I'm trying to get at here is that I think it's just so easy these days to hide in plain sight, and people have gotten so good at becoming a chameleon for what other people expect to see. Many of us will never seek the limelight for so many different reasons. And the thing is that personal style will make you stand out from the crowd in some way. And so that can be a little bit intimidating or scary even for most of us. We have to build confidence, we have to build self-trust, and then we have to really honor ourselves. If you're wearing a trend, it's very easy to outsource that decision to someone else. It's kind of a way of staying safe within your style, and it's almost this foolproof way of nobody's going to judge me because this is the accepted norm right now. And it's the same a little bit with timeless fashion. Some women are gravitating towards this timeless fashion and look because they're just too afraid to look at who they are really and create their own stamp. To me, that's just a path of self-abandonment in a way. Again, you're choosing to not trust your own voice, but instead trust the wisdom of the voices that have gone collectively before you. And again, there's nothing necessarily wrong with being timeless or being trendy. If being well-dressed is high on your priority list, you might not want to invest the time into getting to know yourself and your preferences. It might just be easier and quicker to rely on what's trendy right now or on timeless and classic pieces. So like I said before, that's what most people will lean into because again, that's the easy path. That's something that someone else has already laid out for us and all we have to do is follow the steps. Whereas when you are finding your own personal style, you're really paving your own path, and it takes a whole lot more bravery and commitment to yourself to follow that path. Regard your own opinion the highest out of anybody's voices. Always listen to you first. Nobody else has to understand, to agree, or to approve because this is about you. If you can get to this point, this is a radical form of self-acceptance, and I guarantee you this will propel your style forward. All right, story time. So I grew up mainly without social media, and I remember when style was something that you just found on the pages of a magazine. You literally had to go to a store, buy a magazine, flick through the pages, and discover what somebody else had decided was stylish for right now. The thing is, I never saw anybody in my real life wearing outfits like that, wearing colors like that, adhering to these style rules and regulations. So style for me was always something that was over here. Other people had it, but it wasn't something that directly related to me. And it wasn't until I became very frustrated with the way that I was coming across to other people and the clothes that were hanging in my wardrobe that I realized I have to do something about this myself. I looked at all these women who I consider as stylish and started to think about what are the elements that these women have that are like a common thread. And I've already mentioned most of them here. It's about being fiercely loyal to yourself, not allowing yourself to be pushed around by the waves of what other people are doing, thinking, or saying. It's about listening to yourself first. And I think the more that you listen to yourself, the more that this reinforces that identity of somebody who has style. Even the women that we think of who are so understated in their everyday style, they still have this beautiful self-possession, this quiet confidence, this knowledge of who they are, and that is where the style is coming from. It's not that they're thinking too hard about the pieces they're putting together. It's about knowing themselves really deeply and allowing that to translate through into how they carry themselves and their style on a daily basis. So what are some practical steps that we can take to move towards embodying our most stylish self? I have a Taurus moon, so I fully believe in using all of your 5 senses. How are we going to use our 5 senses to create this sense of style and to exude this sense of style? Obviously, your sense of touch means like everything to do with the textures that you're wearing, not only how it feels to touch, but how it feels when you move your body. Does your clothing invite movement? And how does it invite you to move your body, to hold your body, to posture yourself? Things like the scent that you're wearing, even the scent that you have in your home is going to set a tone and a mood. The music that you listen to, even how you like to take your coffee or drink your tea. All of these tiny little preferences are a part of you, and they somehow manage to blend themselves into the style that you have. How and why is this possible? It's because they come together to create a mood. As soon as something is affecting your mood, it's affecting your expression. It's affecting your demeanor. It affects how you hold yourself, how you carry your body, your posture. And speaking of posture, this is so crucial. The posture of a confident woman, shoulders back, relaxed, holding yourself with dignity, holding yourself with grace. If you want to exude femininity today, maybe you need to loosen up. Try a bit of dance, try a bit of sensual movement, try a bit of massage. There are so many intangible elements that you can inject into your personal style, into how you hold yourself, into how you present yourself, that are nothing to do with clothes. Think about your posture and how you stand when you have nothing on. Your posture is going to dictate how you feel, not your clothes. Think about the tone and the pitch of your voice. Think about using your breath wisely. Every time you take a deep breath in, you're bringing relaxation into the body. And the more relaxed you are, the more confident you will come across as. The more that you pay attention to your breath and your movement and your mood, your demeanor, your voice throughout the day, the more that you are breathing life into your personal style. Even the way that you walk. Somebody with like an energetic, bouncy, youthful, vivacious walk, they're going to have a different energy, a different aura to somebody who is slinking along like Angelina Jolie, for example. I'd like to invite you to create some sort of mood board for your personal style identity, and perhaps keep it somewhere that you can either refer to throughout the day or keep it where you can see it when you're getting dressed, because it will just help to infuse that little bit of really whatever it is that you want to infuse into your personal style and into the way that you dress.